Hello everyone! In this video, we'll go over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Green Unit 9 words. You can follow along at home using your book. Let's get started! Our first word is ability. Ability is a noun and it means the power or skill to do something. Basically, it means that you can do something. You know how to do it or you are able to do it. For example, lifeguards must have the ability to swim well. In this sentence, we're talking about how a lifeguard can swim really well so that they can save people that are in danger. They need to have this swimming ability because if they cannot swim, then they can't rescue people. Some synonyms are talent, capacity, and capability. Antonyms are inability and powerlessness. So when we talk about ability, it's anything that you can do. For example, in this picture, I can say, she has the ability to play the piano. Or over here, we can say, every chef has the ability to chop vegetables really quickly. What do you have the ability to do? Our next word is avoid. Avoid is a verb and it means to keep away from. The sample says, they tried to avoid the mud, but they were not successful. And synonyms are evade, escape, and elude. The antonym is seek. So when you try to avoid something, you don't want that thing. You want to stay away from it. You don't want it to touch you, or you don't want to be near it. So in this sentence here, imagine it's a very rainy day and there's mud all over the floor. Of course, you want to avoid the mud. You don't want to step in it. You don't want to touch it. But in this sentence, they tried to do it, but they were not successful. So unfortunately, this person stepped in the mud. They could not avoid the mud. In this picture here, you can see there's a car driving, and in the road, there's a hole. Usually, cars try to avoid the holes in the road because it can damage their tires. And maybe you've played this game before. This game is dodgeball, where there's a group of people and they try to avoid the ball that the other team is throwing. So this is our word avoid. Are there any things that you try to avoid? Our next word is bashful. Bashful is an adjective, so we can use it to describe someone. And it means shy, not at ease, especially in a social setting. So this sentence means that you do not feel comfortable. Not at ease means you're not comfortable. Especially in a social setting means around other people. So someone who is bashful is not comfortable around other people. The sample says, why were you so bashful at the party? So there was a party and the person was very shy at the party. They didn't want to talk to other people. They didn't want to be social. When you're social, it means you're talking with other people. Some synonyms are timid, reserved, awkward, uneasy, and antonyms are bold, brash, aggressive, and outgoing. For this picture here, I can say, the bashful girl hid behind her mother's legs. Or another good example would be, she felt bashful when she had to give a presentation in front of the class. Have you ever felt bashful in your class when you had to do something in front of everyone? Usually when someone feels bashful, they might also blush or hide their face, like this cute little pigeon here. Our next word is brief. Brief is an adjective and it means a short in time, amount, or length. So anything brief has a very short time where it's done. The example is, a 3-day vacation is too brief for me. So in this sentence, someone went on a vacation, but the vacation was only for 3 days. They thought that that vacation was too short and it should be longer. So they can describe the vacation as brief. It lasted a short time. Some synonyms are quick, fleeting, and concise. Antonyms are long, lengthy, and extended. These messages here are an example of brief because one person started the conversation and the other person is answering, but their answers are very short. They only say one word like hi, thanks, or yep. So I can say, he sent a brief message. Or his reply was very brief. Another good way to use this word would be to talk about something like a shooting star. I can say, the shooting star was only visible for a brief second. Visible means you can see it. So I can say it was only visible for a brief second. A very short time was the only time that you could see the shooting star. So you can use this word brief to talk about anything that only lasts for a short time. The race was brief, the class was brief, our lunchtime was brief, like this. Our next word is compete. Compete is a verb and it means to try for something, such as a prize. When you compete, you are trying to get a prize. It also means to take part in a game or contest, and to play against another or others. So when you compete, you are trying to win something, and you're usually playing against other people to see who will be the top winner. The example says, in gym, students might compete in the 50-yard dash. There's a race called the 50-yard dash, so here in this picture, you can see the students are competing. They're trying to see who will be the winner, who will be the fastest person. Synonyms are strive, rival, contend, and challenge. There are no antonyms for this word. Another example I can use is this chess game here. Maybe these two people are competing in a chess tournament. A tournament is like a big competition where many people are playing to see who will be the top winner. Or I can also talk about something like a baking contest. I can say the children competed in the baking contest to see who would make the best cake. Have you ever competed in something? Maybe you had a spelling bee in your classroom. You can say she was nervous to compete in the school spelling bee. Our next word is consider. Consider is a verb and it means to think about or pay attention to. So when you are considering something, you're trying to make sure that that is the thing you want to do or that is the correct thing. The example says, be sure to consider your choices carefully. Imagine you go to an ice cream shop and there are so many different ice cream flavors that you can choose. Instead of just picking anything, you should consider which flavor you want to eat. You should think about it. Which one will be the most delicious, or which one do I really want to eat right now? Some synonyms are weigh, analyze, evaluate, ponder, and study. Antonyms are decline, reject, and repel. When people consider things, they usually think about the good points of it and the bad points of it as well. So they need to consider, is it more good or is it more bad before they make a choice? For example, I can say, he considered which pair of shoes to buy. Have you ever considered before buying something or before doing something? Our next word is delightful. Delightful is an adjective and it means very pleasing or wonderful. Basically, when something is great, you can use the word delightful instead of great since it's a better word. The example says, going to a carnival is a delightful experience. For many people and children, something like a carnival or a amusement park like Everland is always a delightful experience. It's always a fun time. Some synonyms are lovely, appealing, enjoyable, agreeable, pleasant, and joyful. Antonyms are disagreeable, displeasing, unpleasant, and joyless. Let's look at some more examples. For this picture here, I can say the children had a delightful time playing with bubbles in the park. We often use this word together with time to talk about some fun activity that people did. Or here I can say, lunch tasted so delightful today that it made me want to dance. We can also use it to talk about something that smells good. For example, she was smelling the flower and it smelled delightful. It smelled very good. And in this picture here, you can see the children are playing in the water. So I can say they had a delightful time running around the water park. Is there any activity you've done recently that was delightful? Our next word is honor. Honor is both a noun and a verb. You can use it in both ways. As a noun, it means great respect, a sign of respect, a sense of what is right. As a noun, honor is a thing that you can get because you did something amazing, or it's a special day, or someone else did something amazing, so you want to show respect to them. For example, they sent a card in honor of my birthday. So your birthday is a special day, and when someone sends you a card, it's a sign of respect. It means that they like you, they think you are important, so we can call that an honor. Getting the card for your birthday is an honor. Here in this picture, you can see there is a nurse, and the nurse is getting an award. Maybe she did something amazing, so she is getting this award to honor her hard work, to show respect for working hard. We can also use honor to talk about soldiers. Usually a soldier will salute their flag to honor their country, to show respect, to show that they care about that thing. Some synonyms are glory, recognition, and privilege. Antonyms are disgrace and dishonor. We can also use honor as a verb, and it means to respect or value. So now it's not a thing that you are getting or someone is getting. Instead, it's an action that you are doing. For example, we should honor our teachers. So now honor is the thing that we are doing. We should show respect to our teachers. We should show them that we care about them, that we care about their hard work. During Chuseok, many people bow to their elders or to their ancestors to honor them. So we can say they honor their ancestors by bowing. Or in many places all over the world, there are usually statues of famous or important people in history. So we can say they built a statue to honor someone. Synonyms are praise, credit, esteem, and an antonym is humiliate. So is there anyone that you honor? Or have you ever received any honors? Our next word is reflex. Reflex is a noun, and it is an automatic response, usually very quick. Automatic means something that you do right away without thinking about it. For example, my reflex is to jump at the sight of a spider. So the thing that you do right away without even thinking about it is jump when you see a spider. This is called a reflex. Some people will jump and some people will scream. That is their reflex. We can also use it to talk about when your body moves automatically without thinking about it. For example, there's a test that doctors do where they hit your knee with a little hammer and it makes your leg kick up. That is called a reflex. You do it very quickly and without thinking about it. And we can also use reflex in this situation when you touch something that is hot. Maybe you didn't know that it was hot, and right away your hand opens and you let go of that thing. That is called your reflex. And if you think about someone like a soccer player or people who play sports, they need to have very quick reflexes so that they can stop the ball. So I can say, the goalkeeper's quick reflexes helped him block the shot. Or, the doctor tested his reflex by tapping his knee with a hammer. A synonym is instinct, and there is no antonym for this word. Our last word is remark. Remark can be used as a noun and a verb. As a noun, it is a short statement. So something short that someone said. For example, that was an unkind remark about their old shoes. So in this sentence, someone said something about old shoes, but it was unkind. It was not a nice thing to say. So remark is just something that someone is saying. For example, I can say, she received many kind remarks about her hair today. So many people said that her hair looked beautiful. She got remarks. Another example would be, people often remark about the weather. They often talk about the weather. Remark can also be used as a verb, and it is to say or mention, or to give an opinion. So now we're using remark as the word said. Someone said something. For example, ask them to remark on the shape of the clouds. Or I can say, the weatherman remarked that it was very windy today. So remember, when you're using remark as a noun, we are talking about the thing that was said. But when we use it as a verb, it's the action of saying something. Someone remarked. Some synonyms are comment, observations, observe, speak, state, or mention. There are no antonyms for this word. For this word remark, it's very important that we keep it short. A remark is usually a short thing that is said. Sometimes it's because you are shocked or because you are excited. For example, I can say, the children remarked that it was cold outside. Maybe many children came inside and they all said, it's so cold, it's freezing outside. So I can say, they remarked that it was cold outside. It's like a better way to use the word said. Instead of just saying, they said it's cold outside, we can say, they remarked it's cold outside. And that's all for this video. We went over the vocabulary workshop, Level Green Unit 9 words. Thank you so much for listening and see you next time. Bye!